By 2012, there was already a website that most people on the internet had at least heard about, even if they had never actually visited it themselves. The site was called BestGore. At that time, anyone who watched shock or gore videos usually knew the name because it was easy to find through a simple Google search. When violent videos were taken down from regular websites, many people would go to BestGore instead to watch them there. After some time, BestGore became known as one of the few websites where almost nothing was censored. If a violent or disturbing video started spreading on the internet, it would often end up on BestGore sooner or later. The site built a reputation similar to LiveLeak, where people expected to find real and uncensored footage. In 2012, something happened that brought much more attention to the website. It was no longer just known for shock videos online. The situation became serious enough that the site began appearing in news reports around the world. BestGore started on April 30th, 2008. The website was created by Marek, a Slovak-Canadian man who was living in Edmonton, Canada at the time. From the beginning, it was clear what kind of content the site was meant to show and what its main purpose would be. The first video posted on the website showed the beheading of American engineer Eugene Armstrong by Al-Qaeda fighters in Iraq. At that time, the video was already being shared online, but many websites kept taking it down. BestGore chose not to remove the video and kept it available without making any changes. From the start, this showed the type of content the site intended to allow and how it planned to operate. BestGore called itself a reality news website. Marek believed that most mainstream media did not fully show how harsh and violent real life can sometimes be. In his view, reality exists whether people choose to look at it or not. Because of this belief, the website focused on sharing real events the way they happened without editing or filtering the content. Marek did not seem like the kind of person most people would expect to run a website like that. He spent a lot of his time traveling and writing about his experiences on his blog called Traveling Mark. He said he left his regular job so he could focus on travel and try to retire early. On the blog, he wrote about different countries and about building a life where he would not need a traditional job. He also shared stories about times when he was robbed or threatened while traveling. He explained that he included those stories to remind people that travel comes with real risks and should be taken seriously. In his personal life, he read self-help books and novels. He used an old Nokia flip phone and sometimes did not even keep a SIM card in it. He said he preferred to live in the present and did not like making long-term plans. At the same time, he had spent more than 10 years viewing extreme violence almost every day, and it clearly affected him. Over time, he became very used to it. He once described humans as fleshy viruses. He said he hated animal cruelty and refused to post it on his site. However, he did post real videos that showed violence against people. He explained that his goal was not to shock anyone. In his view, he was simply showing reality as it is, even when that reality is harsh. After some time, the website became a place where videos often appeared after being removed from other platforms. Most regular websites did not allow this type of content, so people would upload it there instead. The videos showed real events from different parts of the world, including crimes, accidents, war footage, and other disturbing situations. Before entering the site, visitors always saw a warning page. This page became well known because it showed a disturbing header image of an Asian woman who had been impaled and roasted on a spit. At the same time, the page also showed a small picture of a puppy that visitors could click if they decided they did not want to continue onto the website. Even though BestGore already had a strong and controversial reputation, many people continued to visit it on a regular basis. Most users did not just watch a video and leave right away. Many stayed to read or take part in discussions in the comment sections, which were often filled with racist and toxic remarks. People talked about the videos they saw, argued about whether viral clips were real or fake, and shared their opinions about events happening around the world. Marek also shared his own views on the site, and some of the articles included conspiracy theories. Along with real footage, the website also posted anime-style artwork that showed extreme violence. Over time, the site began to feel less like a simple video platform and more like an online community where people followed cases together and tried to figure out what had really happened. Over time, BestGore became one of the most well-known shock websites on the internet. Some reports said that at its peak, the site was getting between 10 and 15 million visits each month. As the website grew, more people began to speak out against it. Marek said that threats and legal complaints became a normal part of running the site because of the type of videos it shared. The more popular it became, the more attention it received from governments, news organizations, and groups that wanted the videos removed. Around 2009, a politician from Germany contacted him and asked him to remove a video from the site. The video showed neo-Nazis killing 2 migrant workers in Russia. He was warned that if the video stayed online, the entire website could be banned in Germany. Marek refused to remove it. He said the site was not supporting or promoting anything, and that it was simply showing real events as they happened. After that, he said he never heard from the politician again. Even with the warning, Germany did not officially ban BestGore. Still, it was clear that governments had started paying much closer attention to violent websites like his. Despite the pressure and criticism, the website continued operating as usual. Over time, the kinds of videos shared on the website began to change, as more real events around the world were being recorded. Many of the clips started coming from places like Brazil, India, and other countries, especially after smartphones made it much easier for people to film what was happening and post it online. As recording and sharing became more common, the amount of real-life footage on the site kept increasing. Then, in May 2012, one video upload changed everything. On May 25, 2012, an 11-minute video titled "One Lunatic, One Ice Pick" was sent to the contact email listed on the BestGore website. Investigators later believed the message was likely sent by Magnotta himself. Marek received the video that same day and chose to upload it to the site. When posting it, he included a written note warning viewers that the footage was extremely disturbing. The video showed the killing and dismemberment of John Lin, a Chinese international student, inside an apartment in Montreal. It contained real acts of violence, sexual activity involving the body, and severe physical harm. Even people who were used to watching shock content online said the video was far more extreme than what was normally seen or shared at that time. Marek later said that at first, he was not sure if the video was real. At that time, many videos online were made to look real, even though they were staged, so it was often hard for people to tell the difference between real footage and fake shock videos. Because he was unsure about what he was watching, he decided to post the video on BestGore so viewers could watch it themselves and discuss whether it was real or staged. The video remained on the website for about 6 days and was viewed thousands of times. In the beginning, some people believed it was just another fake video being shared online. However, as more users watched it closely, many started to realize that it was real. People began to compare small details and study different parts of the video to figure out who could be responsible. Even before police officially named a suspect, Some users had already mentioned Luca Magnotta and tried to report their concerns to the authorities. At that time, though, tips from internet forums were not taken very seriously. At the same time, the situation in Canada was becoming more serious. Packages containing parts of Jun Lin's body were sent to political offices and schools, and police later found his torso outside the apartment building linked to the crime. By that point, the suspect had already left the country, which led to an international search. The manhunt eventually ended when Luca Magnotta was arrested in Berlin. On May 31st, 2012, shortly after police publicly identified Magnotta as the suspect, Marek removed the video from BestGore. During later court proceedings, he confirmed that he was the only person running the website and that the decision to publish the video was his alone. He accepted full responsibility for posting the footage and acknowledged that the material was considered obscene. As media coverage of the case spread around the world, public attention gradually shifted from the crime itself to BestGore and the role the website played in allowing the video to be widely viewed. After the video was posted, police quietly began investigating Marek for uploading it. Several months later, in February 2013, Edmonton police interviewed him. The following day, he traveled to Hong Kong. Authorities said they did not believe he was trying to escape, but border agencies were still notified while the investigation continued. While he was overseas, Marek continued operating the website remotely. When he returned to Canada on July 10th, 2013, through Vancouver International Airport, officials seized his computer equipment. 6 days later, on July 16th, he was arrested. He was charged under a rarely used Canadian law related to corrupting morals. Police stated that once investigators confirmed the video showed a real murder, keeping it available online became illegal. His bail conditions completely cut him off from the internet. For more than 2 years, he was not allowed to use computers, phones, or any online devices, while anonymous moderators continued to run BestGore without his involvement. He was later arrested again over a reported issue related to updating his home address, but that allegation was eventually dropped. In July 2015, Marek filed a lawsuit against police and justice officials, saying the rearrest harmed his reputation, although these claims were never proven in court. On January 25, 2016, the day his trial was scheduled to begin, he pleaded guilty. He avoided prison and instead received 3 months of house arrest, along with community service. After leaving the courthouse, he appeared in public with duct tape placed over his mouth as a protest against censorship. BestGore continued to run even after the court case ended, but the pressure around the site never really went away. Over time, new rules on online content, financial problems, and stricter moderation across the internet made it harder for the site to keep going. It became more difficult to manage and support in the long term. The website had already started slowing down a few years earlier. In 2019, Marek wrote that he wanted to step away from running it, although moderators and users were still uploading videos after that. The site was not as active as it once was, but it had not fully stopped. On November 15th, 2020, after more than 12 years online, BestGore officially shut down. The closure had been announced several times before, so regular users were not surprised when it finally happened. Later, Marek explained that no one forced him to close the site. He said he made the decision on his own because he did not want to stay connected to a shock website for the rest of his life and wanted to focus more on his personal life instead. If you visit the BestGore website now, there are no videos left. The site only shows a goodbye page with a short FAQ that explains why everything ended. On that page, The owner also said that some people had asked for permission to use old BestGore videos to train AI systems that detect violent content online. He refused those requests because he believed people should be able to see information freely without it being filtered or controlled. Most of the internet archives of the site are now gone. The Wayback Machine pages for BestGore no longer exist. A few mirror sites are still online, but they only show small parts of what used to be there and nothing close to the full website. Some longtime users tried to create their own replacement sites to continue what BestGore had started, but none of them became as large or as widely known as the original. After leaving BestGore, he started something very different called No Phone Man, which includes a website and a YouTube channel. All of the violent content was removed. The new project focuses on stepping away from the internet and spending more time living offline. Marek has said that he now lives in the woods, spends time in nature, finds his own food, and tries not to rely on technology. Today, BestGore mostly remains as a memory from an earlier time on the internet. Some people believe the site showed real events that other platforms chose not to allow. Others believe it went too far and should not have existed at all. However, most people who remember that period agree on one thing. The internet has changed, and the kind of online space where a website like BestGore could operate openly is no longer the same.